everyone, and welcome to this video. As you can tell from the title, this is going to be my 2016 beauty products. And this is just stuff that I've either discovered in the year of 2016 or that has launched within this year that I find myself reaching for a ton, if not all of the time. Like whenever I'm gonna sit down and just do something with my face and I don't know what to do, these are some of the products that I tend to reach for pretty much like 90% of the time. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first product that I want to talk about is this guy right here. This one is a pore filler. This one is from Benefit. I used to see everybody using it all the time and I never gave it a second thought as far as buying it because I didn't think that it would really do anything to fill in my pores that I have here on the side of my nose, and it actually did. So I'm glad I did make that purchase because it makes such a difference, especially when I want a really flawless foundation application and I don't want my pores to really show through. This will save the day every single time. So whenever I'm going for that nice glam all day foundation type of a look, I apply this onto my pores and you can barely even see them. So this one definitely a good purchase that I made this year. Moving on to eyeshadow palettes, there are a few that I would like to talk about. First palette that I'd like to talk about that I found myself reaching for a lot this year is this Makeup Geek and Manny MUA collaboration palette. The shadows in it are so easy to work with. I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. They're, for me, in my opinion, they are super easy to blend, super easy to work with. I love the shade range that you get within this palette, and I love the fact that they added 2 foil eyeshadows. Now, I had never worked with foil eyeshadows like this. I think I bought like a Milani foiled eyeshadow little quad or something like that a while back, and I wasn't really a big fan of it, but these foiled eyeshadows, I'm a fan of. So it has a couple of satins, a couple of foiled, and then quite a few mattes within the palette. I find myself reaching for this little quad right here, this little corner, a lot whenever I don't know what to do with my eye look, but I still want to look really, you know, I wanted to look presentable and I want to look pretty kind of glam a little bit. I use this quad right here, or this little square right here. So I apply this and then I'll go a little bit warmer with this tone and then I'll go a little bit warmer with that one and then I'll apply the foiled eyeshadow all over the lid. Boom, done. Call it a day. Love this palette. I also love the fact that it came with a mirror and quite a sizable mirror at that. So definitely one that I find myself reaching for a lot. Another palette that I found myself reaching for a lot this year is this Charlet in Bloom palette. Love it pretty much for the exact same reasons that I love the last one, is that it has a lot of beautiful, neutral, warm tones, but it also has some, you know, pops of shimmer that you can apply onto the lid. It has these 3 nice dark matte shades on the side. In fact, I'm wearing this entire palette on my eyes today, aside from the glitter that I decided to apply on the top, but you can get really different looks with this entire palette. The shadows I find are really blendable. They're really, really pigmented, nice in texture, nice in color. And yeah, I always grab this firecracker and place it on my lid. It's a really beautiful like gold copper tone. And then also this rocker shade here as well. That's what I'm wearing on my lids today. It's a little bit more on the cool side. I feel like you can create a lot of different, very beautiful looks with just this one palette and all being really different because of the fact that there are these like 3 very different and unique shadows at the end. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I found myself reaching for it a lot this year. Also love the fact that it comes with this really huge mirror, just like the last palette. I think I'm seeing a trend. Another palette that I'd like to talk about that I'm sure everybody is going to include in their beauty products of 2016 is this palette right here, the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Let's just take a moment, shall we? Let's take a moment. This palette is so beautiful. When I first saw it, I just knew I had to have it, and then once I got my hands on it and started playing with it, I was just blown away by the quality and the pigment of every single eyeshadow. There isn't one that performs better than the other in my opinion. It has a really good variety of shades, all warm though, which is totally up my alley. I love warm eyeshadows. I'm more of a warm eyeshadow wearer, especially on a regular everyday basis. I love wearing warms more than cools. That's just, I don't know, that's just my preference. And this one delivered completely. This little trio right here, I always grab. Or you can also take it a little bit deeper. There's Cypress Umber here, which is a really, really deep chocolate shade. and I love it. The shadows are very soft though, so like I think everyone's mentioned that they do have some kick up whenever you do put your brush in, but don't mind that. It doesn't affect their quality whatsoever or affect the way that they blend out. I find that I don't get a lot of fallout. It's just the kick up that I get whenever I do dip my brush in for the first time. But you just have to, you know, tap that a little bit, tap your brush a little bit, and then it's gone and you can go ahead and get to work. But these eyeshadows are just so beautiful. I love every single shade. Yeah, I can't get enough. And I find I'm going to continue to use this well into 2017. Yeah, it's a beautiful palette. Moving on to the face, there are mainly just highlights that I want to talk about. I feel like 2016 was definitely the year of highlight, like intense highlight, or just everyone was talking about highlighters, different kinds of highlighters, intense ones, glittery ones, you know, chunky ones or whatever. And I have a few here that I really found myself grabbing all of the time. The first one being this Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration face palette. Now the packaging is very sturdy. I love the fact that it has a full mirror on the top. But aside from that, I love this blush right here. Amaretto was definitely one of my favorite blushes of the year because of the fact that it went with every single eye look, every single look. This is what I'm wearing right now. Every single look, anything that I would do, I would find myself reaching for Amaretto because it just felt like it was not too pink and it was not too peachy and it was not too brown. It was just perfect. It's a perfect shade for an everyday blush. Also, the fact that there's, you know, a couple of really good highlighters in here. First one being, of course, Champagne Pop. Love that. I especially love to apply it with the Beauty Blender. It gives you a really nice glow without going too far, like without being too overwhelming. So whenever you are going to be applying highlighters, try to do it with a Beauty Blender or like any kind of like damp sponge and you'll see what a difference it makes. So definitely love this face palette for those reasons. I don't think I've ever mentioned before in any of my videos as like a really good, you know, goodbye product, but it is a really good purchase that I made. This one is from Hourglass. It is their Ambient Lighting Powder. This one is in the shade Luminous Light, is what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. Love this highlight because it is so soft. It's so soft, but it's so subtle, but it still gives you a really nice dewy glow. So it makes it look like you're just naturally dewy and glowy rather than a lot of like glitter or a very strong, you know, beaming highlight. This one is a lot more soft, a lot more subtle, and that is why I absolutely love it. If you have not given it a try and you're looking for something high-end, I definitely recommend that one. Another face palette that I found at the drugstore that I really loved is this Maybelline Master Contour Face Contour Kit. So I didn't really find myself using the contour from this kit a whole ton because I did find it to be a little bit too warm, too orange for my skin tone for it to really be a contour shade. But the blush was amazing, super beautiful, very natural pink. And the highlight on this was just, it was so beautiful on the skin. Once I applied it, the first time that I applied it, I wasn't expecting for it to be as subtle and as soft as it is, but it gives you that right amount of highlight to where it's not so overpowering. It's just like an everyday daytime type of a highlight. So definitely love that highlight for that. I found myself reaching for it a lot this year because on most days, just regular days, I don't want a very intense highlight. I want something soft. So that is why that palette is one of my favorites. Definitely one of my go-tos. Next product that I want to talk about is a brow pencil. This one is the Brow Stylist Definer from L'Oreal. I purchased two shades. The first one that I purchased was brunette, and I found that that was a little bit too chocolatey for my taste. And then I purchased dark brunette, which I figured would suit me better because I do tend to like my brows to be a little bit darker. And that was a little bit too dark. So now I mixed the two in order to get kind of like my perfect brow shade. Before this, I mean, I still love my Anastasia Brow Wiz, but these are a total inexpensive dupe for the Brow Wiz. The only thing with these is that they only come in 3 shades. So these two and then an additional one. I wish that they would expand because they are So good. They're such good brow products, such good brow pencils. So moving on to liners. I personally, whenever I'm working with applying a wing line onto my eyes, I like working with gel liners. So I discovered two this year that I absolutely love and that I always use. I either use one or the other. And the first one is this Inglot Gel Liner in 77. I love it. It is so pigmented. It is so dark. It is so black. That's why I love it, because I always had a hard time with eyeliners looking gray, and I always had to go back and darken them with like a black eyeshadow. But now that I found this one, this is definitely a go-to. It's super creamy. It glides on super smoothly, so you don't have to worry about like tugging or anything like that. Same goes with this other one. This one is from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Liner. This one is in the shade Black is Black, and it works the exact same as the Inglot one. I believe the Inglot one, the only difference is that that one dries matte, whereas this one really doesn't dry matte. So that would be the only difference, but I love them both. I either use one or the other whenever I am going for that, you know, intense wing. Really good. An eyeliner that I feel definitely deserves a mention for this year because I used it quite a bit is this Tarte Skinny Smoulder Eyes Amazonian Clay Waterproof Liner. Quite the name, but it is worth it. It is so stunning. It stays on my waterline the entire day. That's what I'm wearing on my waterline now. I believe there are two different shades, but I definitely love this one because whenever I don't want the intense, deep, dark black along the waterline, I just grab this, which is a little bit, you know, it's still pretty dark, it's still pretty deep, but it's not so intense, and I feel like I get the right amount of like darkness along the waterline without it being too overpowering or too intense. So whenever I do want to add that little something extra along the waterline and I don't want it to move, I don't want it to go anywhere, I grab this guy, plop it on there, and call it good. Another product that definitely deserves a mention is the RCMA No Color Loose Powder. Now this isn't the original packaging that it came in, but this is what I had to purchase in order to make it work, because if you have the actual packaging that it comes in, you know that there's no sifter, there's like literally just little holes. It looks like a little, I don't know, like a seasoning shaker. That's what it looks like. And so it's very messy. It's very hard to work with. And so I had to purchase this additionally. And so I've just been kind of like dropping it in here. I just recently ran out, so I ordered another one of the big 3-ounce bottle, the one that looks like a little seasoning shaker. But this is what I keep it in. This is what absolutely does it for me. I love setting the under eye area with this because it doesn't make it, there's no flashback, so that's one. It doesn't make it super dry, which is two. Absolutely love that. When my under eye area feels really dry, it feels uncomfortable. I feel like my lines that I naturally have, like they really intensify and show. Last thing I want, last thing I need. And so that, on top of the fact that it doesn't have any flashback, definitely is what sold it. It's really soft. It goes on the skin and completely dissolves and melts and blends in with everything that's on your face, so you don't have to worry about altering anything on your face or any kind of color being altered because of this little powder. Absolutely love it. And it's so inexpensive. So inexpensive. Definitely a must-have. Another thing that I discovered this year is this mascara. This is the Beauty For Real mascara, which is what I'm wearing on my lashes right now. I feel like a lot of people ask me what's on my lashes when I do wear this mascara. Whenever I am filming and I'm not wearing false lashes, this is what I'll use. Love this mascara. It comes with like a really little tiny high definition brush, and that will intensify all of the lashes for me. It separates them, the formula lengthens them, it gives me volume. Like I said, it's what I'm wearing on my lashes right now. The only thing that I will wear whenever I do want that false lash feel, but not the actual false lash, or I don't want to deal with the glue or anything like that, I'll do like 2 or 3 coats of this and I'm good to go. So definitely a good find this year. Going back to the eyes, because I didn't realize that I had missed this, this is the Benefit Stay Don't Stray Eyeshadow Primer. It is an eyeshadow and a concealer primer, I believe, but I only use it as a shadow primer. I apply this onto my lids because I love the fact that it is tinted. This one is in the shade Medium Deep. They do have another shade. I believe it is the light medium shade, and then there's Medium Deep, which is this one. I love it because it is tinted, and so that's what I look for when I am applying eyeshadow primers. I want something that's tinted because my lids are naturally pretty pigmented, and so if I start working with really light eyeshadows, they're not necessarily going to show. And so that is why I always go in with an eyeshadow primer that has tint, so that I can start off with a nice blank canvas, and that way when I am applying lighter tone eyeshadows, they actually do appear on my lids. So love it for that reason. For foundations, this year I found myself reaching for two in particular, one more recently than the other. The first one that I found myself reaching for a lot is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Foundation. This foundation gives such good coverage, and it does not feel heavy on the skin whatsoever. It does last quite a while. I did a full review on this a few months back when I first started wearing it, and I've been reaching for it ever since. I love the way that it wears. I love the way that it feels. It's pretty hydrating foundation, and it just, I don't know, I just love it. It makes your skin look pretty flawless, but without making it look heavy, like you have a lot of makeup on your face. So that is why I definitely love this foundation and have been using it a lot this year. Another foundation that I recently discovered during one of my reviews is this Benefit Play Stick. Now these are limited edition, so I hate the fact that I'm adding it on here, but it's true. I always reach for this whenever I am on the go, or when I'm just gonna, really quickly put myself together and I want something really light that looks really natural, but I still get good coverage out of. This is it. And I love the fact that it just smells so beautifully. It just smells so good. It's a really good foundation. They only have 3 shades, so it's not very good as far as shade range, and it's limited edition, so it's probably going to be gone soon. I don't know. Hopefully they come back with more shades, because I feel like a lot of people would definitely benefit and would really love this foundation, because I know I do. So I reach for it a lot, especially lately when I'm on the go. This next product is another product that I'm sure is on most people's favorites for 2016. The Shape Tape Concealer. Let's just take a moment. The Shape Tape Concealer. It is... I've used my fair share of concealers because I have such dark circles under my eyes. I've had them forever, as long as I can remember. And I've never used anything that's even come close to this. Never, ever, ever. I love the fact that they added more shades to their collection, because it is such an amazing concealer. It's so, so good. It does not crease under the eyes, so I don't really have to set it. I set it because I choose to set it, because I'm just used to setting it, and without it, I just feel weird. So I set it for those reasons, but you don't necessarily have to set it in order to avoid any kind of creasing underneath the eyes. It conceals so well. It conceals so well. I mean, I've made an entire review on this video where you see me wearing it from morning to night, and it does not budge. It does not move. I love it, and I'm so glad that I found it this year, and I'm so glad that they came out with it this year, because I don't think that I could ever find anything else like it. So, I mean, hopefully I do. Hopefully other brands jump on this formula bandwagon or similar too, because I would love to have other options. But this for me is my go-to concealer of all time. Like, this is the only thing that I will wear. For the lips, I have a few products that I discovered this year that I really, really love. 2 of them being from Kat Von D. One is in Lolita and the other one is Lolita 2. I love these. I love these. I sometimes mix them together. I a lot of times wear them separately. But I love the formula of these liquid lipsticks. They are by far the best liquid lipsticks I've ever applied and I've ever worn. I'm a very big hugger and I'm a kisser of my children, but I hate the fact that sometimes it transfers and it just looks like they got hit in the face because I kissed them on the cheek and it looks red, or it doesn't come off of them right away. And so I find myself like restraining myself from kissing them and hugging them as tightly because I don't want to wear my makeup off on them. But when I wear these 2, either one of them or the other one that I also have Noble, but I really like these 2 the most. I don't have to worry about that. The formula doesn't transfer. The formula does not feel dry on the lips, and that's a big thing for me, because when they feel dry or when it feels like it's gonna crack, like no, it's a no-go. I can layer these, like multiple layers on my lips, and they will not crack. They will not separate. They're just some of the best liquid lipsticks that I've ever tried. And I've tried a few. I've tried quite a few different brands. And these ones are the ones that I find myself reaching for the most. So these two, definitely a must. Another product that I wanted to mention is this lip liner. This one is from Urban Decay's, their 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in the shade Naked. It's what I'm wearing right now. I love this lip pencil because it is so hard for me to find like a true nude for my lips, for my skin tone. Whenever I am trying to find nudes, they just kind of just seem like chalk on my lips. They're too light. So after I purchased this, whenever I am wanting to go for more of a nude tone lip, this is what I apply. I also have the lipstick, but I definitely love the lip liner the most. As you can see, I'm gonna have to purchase another one soon. It's very pretty. Love this shade. Another product for the lips that I discovered that I absolutely love this year is this Buxom Lip Gloss. This one is in the shade Amber, and I also have another pink tone shade. And that one is in the shade Kristen, but I find myself reaching for this one a lot more. And for the same reasons that I find myself reaching for the lip liner, it's a really pretty nude tone for my lips, for my skin tone. It's kind of like a pinky golden tone. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit. I'm already down to here, and I haven't owned it for that long. So I use quite a bit of it all the time. It has like the peppermint feel, so I don't know if it's supposed to like plump up the lips, because I know a lot of times when lip products have that in them, the peppermint, it's supposed to plump up the lips. I haven't noticed that. I don't know that it does or is supposed to do that, but I like it nonetheless. I like the way that it wears. I love the color, and I love it especially on top of the lip liner that I just mentioned. Love them. Moving on to makeup remover. I have one that I've been using for a while now, and I'm literally on my second bottle. It is the best makeup remover that I have ever removed my makeup with. This one is the Estee Edits Dissolve the Drama, the 2-in-1 makeup remover and cleanser. So it's supposed to cleanse as well as remove your makeup. I just use it as a makeup remover because I have another cleanser that I like to use. But it is a great makeup remover. It removes anything and everything. Any kind of product that you put on your face that says it's going to be like long lasting, 24-hour, long wearing, yada yada yada, it removes it like that quickly. Any kind of matte liquid lipstick that I apply onto my lips, any kind of matte lipstick, because usually those are kind of stubborn to take off because they're matte, so they're a little bit more drying. You have to tug around at your lips a little bit. This one will remove it, no problem. The Inglot Gel Liner that I mentioned earlier, that is one of the most stubborn eyeliners to take off. And this will get rid of it, no problem. So what I usually do is I take this into the shower with me. You're supposed to use it on dry skin, so like on a dry face. So I try my best not to wet my face with the shower head when I'm jumping into the shower. And then I just grab some of this and start massaging the makeup off. And everything comes off. Glitter, glitter glue, eyeliner, anything, mascara, anything that you put on your face, this will completely dissolve it, and then I just turn around, I rinse everything off, and by the time I'm out of the shower, I really don't have a whole lot left over that I have to cleanse away. So really love this for that reason. It gets rid of anything and everything. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is skincare. Now that I'm in my 30s, I've got to start taking care of my skin. I should have done it when I was in my 20s, but I didn't take it as seriously as I'm taking it now. So the one thing that I did do a lot of this year are sheet masks. Sheet masks were my thing. I mean, I still use other masks, but masks just in general have been my thing. But sheet masks, those have been a new find this year that I have obviously been gravitating toward and that I really want to start using in order to take care of my skin. Whenever I wear a sheet mask, it just makes my skin feel really like soft and smooth. And then they have all that, you know, extra, I don't know, it just makes me feel like I just spent a day at the spa whenever I'm done with the sheet mask. It's like treating myself every single time I do it. So there are two different ones that I've been using the most. I use some from pharmacy, but those are kind of pricey, and so I don't always purchase those. I purchase those every once in a while just to try to treat myself. But the ones that I really have been using a whole lot because they are more inexpensive are these Korean brands. This one is from Tony Moly, and then this one is from Shining Nature Purity, so NSP. These ones are really super fun. I think I showed you guys a couple, maybe one or two on Snapchat, because they have the actual like faces on the masks of whatever you're wearing. These three are my favorite. This one is the panda one because it's panda. And because it's for brightening. This one is the lion one. I love it a lot because it's for revitalizing, so it makes my skin just feel really like alive and like brought back. And this one is just for soothing. So whenever I have worn a lot of makeup or whenever I'm just looking for a day off in order to pamper myself, I usually reach for this one. On the Tony Moly, these are two of my favorites, and these are the ones that I keep repurchasing. This one is the rice mask, and this is whenever I'm just having a tough time and I'm kind of getting a few blemishes here or there. I usually apply this one, and it does a really, really good job. And then also this one is the tea tree mask, the skin smoothing mask. Really, really love these two. They smell great, and in my opinion, they really do make a difference. I love my face, or love my skin after I do the sheet masks. So yeah. So that is all for the beauty products of 2016 for me. These are just some of the things that I found myself, like I said, reaching for the most. I didn't want to overwhelm you all with all of the things that I liked this year, because I mean there are quite a few things that I'm like, yeah, you know, they were good, that was good, that was good, but not a whole lot that really I reached for numerously and continued to use throughout the year. These are just some of the things, and so I really hope that you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you all liked from 2016, any products that perhaps I missed or products that I should probably check out for this upcoming year, because I'm always looking for new wonderful, just good products that I could add to my collection. So thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.